Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to this week's Midweek Trio. So, as the title suggests, Goodwood Revival. You probably saw us last year. That was my favourite show of the show calendar. I hadn't been for a long time, since 2008 until I went last year. And every year I do it, or we have a family commitment come up, or money needs to be set elsewhere, because for us it's quite a big trip, and you want to make the most of it. You want to spend some time and money there. So we've always kind of just gone, no, we'll do it next year, no, we'll do it next year. But this is the second year in a row we've done it now. We only managed one day this year, which is a shame. But Goodwood Revival, it was truly awesome. It doesn't disappoint. Goodwood, if anyone's been, and I'm sure you'll agree, so drop in the comments below, just has a magic about it. It's just a magical place to be. So much history there, so much character there, and if you just love all things old and you love historic motor racing, there isn't anywhere in the world that you see stuff like this. So if you haven't been, honestly, it's well worth the trip. I will definitely be back very soon for Goodwood, early next year. I'm part of the Goodwood membership program, so I will be there for the members meeting. That is 2 solid days of just proper racing, basically, with a few stalls and bits and pieces mixed in, but that is just perfect. So I didn't really film too much this year. I had the Sunday, it's a bit of a fleeting visit for us. So we basically got down there, stayed with some family, went to the event and shot straight home. But we managed to get a full day in. It was a long old day, but well worth it. So what I'll do is just drop a little bit of what I saw, a few things I just caught snippets of. I really didn't pick up the camera, I just wanted to relax with Mrs. S, and I met up with so many good friends, and I met up with some subscribers I didn't even know. They just saw me and said hi, so obviously if you're watching this video you know who you are. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, I'll leave you a little bit of footage now. I think I've got a couple of minutes, just bits and pieces throughout my day, so you enjoy that and then we'll get on to the questions.
Myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away from my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. This really happening. Justice surprises you. Is this really happening? It's too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
Right, I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of Goodwood Revival for me. There'll be plenty of videos that I'm sure people will put out. For me, like I say, I just wanted to enjoy the trip, so I didn't really film too much. I wanted a bit of time off, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Before we get stuck into the questions, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Long-term subscribers, things are slowing down a little bit. It's not forever, honestly, guys. Please bear with me. You all that have been here for a while completely understand that life just has problems and changes, and I'm kind of going through all that now. We're working it all out. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You'll be very happy to know. I certainly am happy to know that, and things are going to get definitely better, and we should see that before Christmas, which will be really cool. So stay along for the ride. Other things is go and check out both our sponsors. We have got Minimine. For your classic mini needs, there's a discount code on the screen now, so go and check them out for 10% off their eBay shop when you spend £15 or more. So please go check that out. The link is in the description below. And we've got Frost. Go check out Frost. Same again, link in the description below. Run along with it. There's a discount code for you there, so you can get all your tools, consumables, and bits and pieces like that. Let's get to your questions. Right, so what this video is all about. It is the Midweek Trio. So before we get stuck into the questions, remember, if you've got any burning things you need to ask me, or if you just want to ask me something completely random, feel free, get it in the comments. We will carry on with all the questions. We use 3 a week, hence the trio, and we have like a bit of a topic or a bit of a rant or whatever. 3 questions from you guys. It normally is about a 10-minute video, but yeah, so if you've got a question, drop it down there. But today's question, and the first one, I've been saving them all up. We have, so the first question to kick off this week is from George Clement. It's a question that he didn't know if I could or couldn't answer, and I guess I'm just going to have to come and answer it at some point. And a bit of a snippet about what's going on in the background. Basically, he said it's a question you may not be able to answer now or may not want to answer in public, but are you going to still be able to keep the workshop that we've got? So, obviously, if you follow along with the channel, I've got changes going on in my life. I will eventually be moving house and all this sort of stuff going on. That's not going to happen overnight. However, things do have to start falling into place. So it's a very respectable question, buddy, and I really appreciate you asking it. I have been asked it a lot kind of off camera, and I have kind of like pushed it aside. So sorry to you guys, I've done that purely because I didn't know what's happening. So we've got a bit of a path now of what is going to happen. And the workshop that you know now, I'm going to try and steer the ship for as long as I can, but the ultimate thing is, yes, when I move, it won't be practical. Nothing's really going to be practical in the sense that all of this is extra things for someone's life, isn't it? So, but for me, I want the channel to have this. I want it to have a bit of a base. If somewhere I can just keep my cars. If you have a bad day, you can just go and hide in there and stuff like that. So I do quite like having it. But the ultimate goal is to obviously have all my cars at home in one place. But let's be fair, I keep buying them. It's never going to happen. So the answer to your question is, buddy, the workshop that you know now, yeah, we'll keep going for now, but there is a plan in the background for potential changes and stuff like that, purely because, like you say, location wise it isn't going to work. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a shame. There's a few other things which I think when we get to that point I can run through a little bit more, but I don't want to discuss it now. But we can chat about that. But yeah, basically answer to the question is it's going to change, but not now. So thank you very much for that. It's a very respectable and very kind of obvious question of what I've got going on, so cheers for that. So the next question, number 2, is from Edward Allen Newton. So my question to you is, if you sold all your cars, what would you replace them with? So the funds you got from the cars that I've got now, what would I replace them with? So if you haven't checked out a channel called Furious Driving, he did a little video a few months ago now where he kind of added up what his fleet, what his collection of cars was worth. And it's quite horrifying sometimes when you've done that. Through all our changes and stuff we've got going on now, I've actually done that. given on market values, it's quite hard to value project cars, isn't it? Like some of my cars I haven't started yet, some of them are part finished, or most of them are part finished. Like this car I'm sat in now, the 72 Estate, is worth what someone's prepared to pay because of the patina and stuff like that. It isn't for everyone. So it's quite hard to put a value on stuff like that. So my answer to you is, I wouldn't know what I could buy because you kind of don't know what you got to spend. But if I was to clear all my cars and the rough price I have in my head that I think I could get if I sold everything I own, it's quite hard to, I don't think I'd just buy one car. I'm not a one car kind of person, I don't think. It is quite difficult, I think. The problem I've got, I think, is if I sold all my cars, I'd end up buying probably nicer ones maybe than what I have. So it's quite hard. I'm not a supercar person. If you know me personally, you follow the channel for a little while, you know I'm not into fast modern cars. They do absolutely nothing for me. There's no character, there's no soul. It's just what rich people buy. It's just not for me. It's just not what I'm built to like. It would be an old classic car or a retro car of some sort, or cars of some sort. I think the best thing I could say to you is to not have minis, not have the Volvo and stuff that we've got. What would I be into? What could I buy? What would it free up? What would I get? A Mark II or Series 2 Jaguar is definitely a car that's always been on my list. I'll try and pop a little picture in up here of the kind of thing I'm on about, especially after just coming back from Goodwood and seeing them race around the track. I like a car, it's weird, I like saloons, estates and vans and stuff like that. I like a practical car, and there's something about the Mark II Jag going around the track with a set of rear doors, knowing that you can go around the track and then go and do your shopping on the way home potentially. I like a practical car. I'm not really the one in, I love don't get me wrong, a Jaguar E-Type, beautiful cars. I just don't understand people that don't like them. I do know a few people that just think they're horrible, and I don't get it. Jaguar E-Type is up there, obviously. Money and no object, you'd have one. But for me, the practicality, I don't own cars because of their value or anything like that. I'm not bothered by that. I buy what I like. But the fact that it's got the back doors and it's a bit more practical, I think if I was to pick a car now off the bat that I think I would buy, it would be something like that, like a nice Series 2 Jag. But I think with the value of the cars that I would have, I could get into quite a nice one of them, but not a perfect one, because that's what I'd have. You know me at Simpsons Classics. And I maybe, I don't know, I'd have something like that. Probably an Amazon estate, because I do really love the Amazon estates. But I've got an Amazon, so I either sell one to buy another one. That seems a bit weird, even though the Amazon estate is just that body shape I like a bit. A very, very early Land Rover. I say very early, you know, an early series Land Rover would be quite a cool thing to own. Just to literally throw the rag top down on the back and just take the dog out and go for a drive somewhere, something like that. But yeah, it's quite hard really. But I'd still have a Mini in my life and stuff like that, so it's quite hard to work out what you would have. And the Mini I'd go and buy if money was no object, sold my cars, would be a minivan. So that's the problem I've got. I've got the kind of cars I've wanted. So very interesting question, and it's actually been really challenging to answer. So I hope I've answered it in some sort of way. You got a bit of an insight into what I do like. Thank you very much for your question, buddy. So, and the final question is quite an exciting question actually, and I'm a little bit touched that I got asked about it. This is from Nick Proof. So he has a channel called Nick Proof Certified. Go and check it out. He's got a beautiful little classic Mini. I think he's got two classic Minis actually, and a modern Focus ST estate. So we got, obviously he commented on the last one where we were talking about the Fiesta and things like that. His question would you consider having club stands at shows? I'd be interested. I was quite touched by that. You see, like, this is something I've actually wanted to do, something I wanted to build up to do. It is something that has definitely crossed my mind when I book a place for myself. And I think it is something I want to try and do for next year. It's how I gauge that. And I think channel-wise, obviously, some of them you have to pay for spaces, so obviously that's a factor. There's some shows you can just book a club stand and say how many cars you have in there. Now that needs to be people actually turning up and going to them. So that side of things, obviously I wouldn't want to be let down, but I'd love to have a club stand, a Simpsons Classics community stand, shall we call it, because it's a community. The mini scene and the classic car scene in general, it's a community. YouTube is a community. And I think it would be really, really cool to do that. I think the best way to do it is to say, I'm at this show, I've booked this many spaces, there's this many slots, who wants to go? So just watch the space for next year. It is something I'd like to do. Maybe if the shows, when it starts warming up a little bit, if you've got things like Himley Hall and the classic mini scene, stuff like that, just to park the cars together. and go like that. It would be quite cool to, you know, put one of my project cars maybe in the middle, fan out, and have a few, you know, subscribers' cars, and we can all chat, and we're all nice to get to know each other. That is definitely something, Nick, that I'd really like to do, and it's quite touching you actually kind of thought about that. It's kind of something I thought in my head, and I went, no, I don't want to be interested. But the fact that you've come out of that, and not just you, I have been asked by a few other people saying, yeah, would you do a club stand and stuff? I guess I've just never thought it would work, but you've definitely planted the seed for 2024 that maybe we will do it. So yeah, thank you very much for that. A really, really cool question, and yeah, I'm going to action it in the new year. The shows are starting to come to an end of this year, which is just mental. You've got big things still going. You've got NEC, which unfortunately is very expensive to have a club stand, so I won't be having that in there. But you got the NEC and stuff like that, so I'll be at events like that working probably, but I'll be there as well just to see stuff. And then you've kind of got into the new year, and then you're into Bingley Hall and stuff like that. So maybe we can have a chat with some of the clubs and the organisers and see what we can put together. Thank you very much, buddy. Right, that brings the midweek trio to an end for this week. First of all, before I go, just apologising. Obviously, I'm trying to get midweek trios out every week. It's not always working. It just doesn't happen. But on the second side of things, the questions that I've got, if you've asked a question, I've saved everything. Every time someone puts a question, I screenshot it, I've got it. If I've not asked it, it's just because I haven't put it together. I want to keep them in a real nice mix every week. We only have 3, obviously, because it's a trio. So if you have asked a question, just keep watching, and I will come across to it, whether it's a stupid question, a funny question, a really serious question. I will make a nice mix of them every week. So keep commenting away with your questions in the below, guys, and we will keep answering as many as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, drop your questions for next week, and yeah, look after yourselves, stay safe. The car I'm sat in, thank you for watching the video. We are working away with it, and there's some bits and pieces that I do want to try. I will try and show as much as I can on the camera for you guys, and we'll get working away with it. We need to get some cars moving, really. So this is one of them. Catch you soon, guys. Stay safe.